Hello, everyone! Blue Star Saber here, once again to do another One Piece chapter review. I meant to do this a few days ago, but I've been a bit delayed. But I figured I'd do it now before the next chapter comes out in a couple of days. All that stuff. So, chapter 1021, Demon, Demonoio. Let's see, in which the cover page is Frankie and a leopard. Let's see, at a bar, crying, having drinks with Senior Pink. My guess this is probably in reference to like what Frankie said at the end of the scene of Pink fight, and him crying at him as flashback, at his backstory and all that stuff. It's sort of a nice chap. It's sort of a nice little cover thing. I mean, I'm not really a bit. Let's see, but heck. Let's see. So yeah, who knows? That could possibly one day happen in One Piece. I don't know. I guess it depends if Senior Pink ever breaks out of jail. But anyway, onto the chapter. So we end up seeing Robin's giant. Well, I would say, let's see, bear form, I guess, though it does have a few lines to cover, like let's just say, censor parts, I guess you could say. But yeah. Let's see, but anyway, I probably should not, but anyway, on to the actual chapter, so. Anyway, so Robin's unleashed her new giant form against Black Maria. Let's see, which she points out that the seams at the sides can be quite exhausting. Anyway, and she prepares a new attack called Sea Serpent Snapdragon, in which, let's see, it grabs onto Black Maria and her legs and all that stuff. Let's see, however, Black Maria ends up hitting it with her weapon. Let's see, damaging Robin. So, let's see, it's kind of like Sanji Kaminoa. I mean, well, the original 7th Division captain, the wolf dog dude from Bleach, in which his Bankai, if it gets damaged, so does he, kind of scenario, as you will. So yeah. Anyway, Black Maria ends up attacking with her poison needles. Let's see, her legs are filled with poison and all that stuff, and she's using her spider webs to hold the giant Robin. Let's see, for her to attack and all that stuff. Let's see. And it looks like she's going bare knuckle and ends up punching Robin, the giant Robin in the face, which ends up affecting the original Robin and all that stuff. And it seems she's starting to. It was so much that Robin eventually drops like her. Devil. Let's see, starts to fade away her. Let's see, the giant form and all that stuff. But granted, the big arms are still there. However, she uses her. Let's see, Black Maria uses her spider webs to block them. And apparently, and starts turning them on fire with her spider, spitting fire out of its mouth. Let's see. Anyway, Black Maria ends up continuing to make fun of Sanji about a failure and all that stuff, and how both Robin and him are losers. Let's see. Let's see, and ends up mocking Robin to try and use ask Robin to use Brock to put out the flames with his ice again. However, Brook ends up commenting about how he keeps hearing foolish things from Black Maria, mocking their crew and Sanji and using their flames. And he ends up commenting about how if he was her, she should be running for her life. Anyway, Black Maria continues to attack Robin, commenting what good she's for and all that stuff. And how she's just the only thing important for her is her brain and all that stuff. That's the only thing that, her knowledge, if you will. That's the only thing that's useful for people because, she can read polyglyphs. However, as Robin is getting beat down, she's ended up remembering a bit of a flashback where, we see Cola and Sabo trying to teach her each about the Fishman technique or the Dragon Claw Fist. Fishman Karate or Dragon Claw Fist. However, Hack tells her that Robin's attack looks pretty powerful by itself. Her joint locks, I guess. Let's see. With Cole and Sabo kind of saying, particularly Cole saying, but let's see, they gotta teach her this bit so that she can defend herself when they're not around. However, Hack seems to think she's pretty strong. However, Robin ends up saying, well, since Sabo and Cole insist, she'll learn the moves from them, which they're both happy about. So anyway, Robin thinks back to how like those moves that they've been taught by the let's see those like palm moves, particularly when they were escaping Fishman when they were going down to Fishman Island. You know the Gigina Moscow Mano was quite useful on many occasions and all that stuff. Remembering what, let's say, Sabo and Kola taught them as they end up like learning about the palm attack from Fisherman Karate. Robin ends up using a devil fruit ability based on Fisherman Karate called Millefleur Fisherman Karate, and then ends up using it in Giga Tam form, in which she strikes the roof ceiling, which confuses Black Maria at first, and last two she realizes that she's causing Derbis to land on her, which also puts out the fire. And while Black Maria is distracted, Robin is revealed to have a new form called Demure Flurm, which is a giant version of her Bretzi form, but now with like devil wings and stuff. I can't tell if Robin herself has become the giant or if it's just a giant that she's supporting from underneath. Black Mirror ends up getting shocked that there's a demon and all that stuff. With Robin commenting that if she has to become a demon, she will to help the people who can count on her. As her devil fruit start to grab Black Maria. But she ends up mocking the words that she ended up saying about not needing arms and legs. However, Black Maria tries to plead, saying that wasn't her. I wasn't referring to her. Let's see, because she was insulting Robin about the only thing good for her is her brain. She doesn't need like the arms and legs. And Robin ends up beating her by using a move called Grand Jessica Clutch, in which the devil and a few extra arms ends up snapping Black Maria's back and all that stuff. So yeah, she's completely knocked out and defeated. With with Black Maria's supporters ending up hearing that awful sound and scream, they end up trying to check out from like a ice block that has a bit of a hole in it and all that sort of slide hole in it, and we see like all the subordinates that she has as they look on and see that Black Maria has been defeated, and they're shocked to see Robin's demon form. However, they're all lined up in one area as they're looking out for the lookout thing as the ice starts to break. And Brock ends up coming in for the attack, and then uses a move called Orakas Ta, strike some sort of musical note, which strikes them all down in one go, knocking them all out. And as Brock and Robin have both defeated their opponents, Robin ends up being a bit tired. However, with Brock telling Robin to be careful. But anyway, unknown to both of them, they're being observed by one of those animal speaker things, as this one being a bird, which is probably going to show that which is going to probably be reporting for when reporting that all 5 of the remaining loyal Topiropo have been defeated. Anyway, we end up with a chapter a bit where we're back to where Luffy's group is and all that stuff with Law and Karibo. Karibo. It seems like Karibo has used all his food reserves from he stored from a month, and then end up being eaten by Luffy. He's asking that he be paid back and all that stuff. With many of Law's crew commenting on how much he can actually put in there. With I think Jean Bart asking Luffy what happened to their captain, but Luffy's eating when he's talking, so they can't quite hear what he's saying. Meanwhile, while that is going on, it seems like Shinobu and Momonosuke are far away from the rest of them, having a bit of a conversation as she confirms that she can do what Momonosuke is asking for, but it's she says it's foolish and dangerous. Let's see. Because she doesn't want to take Momonosuke back there to the battlefield and all that stuff. However, Momonosuke is saying that if he doesn't do something, the Flower Capital and all of Wano will fall to wound and all that stuff, given the fact that if it lands, it'll crush and kill so many of the people there. However, Shinobu says what Momonosuke is asking her cannot be undone once it's done. Let's see, but he doesn't care as he just wants to be turned into a giant dragon. Let's see. And it's revealed that Momonosuke is asking her to use the ripe jutsu devil fruit she has to turn Momonosuke to adult, and that's the end of the chapter. Blimey, first off, it's very nice to actually see Robin fully get a fight in this chapter. I mean, people have waited so long. I think 15 years, or was it 13 years? I don't know, however long Skypiea was, but yeah. For many people, this is like the first time she's actually had a solo fight in so long, unless you count Hammered, which I think I may mention last time, but yeah. Anyway, I do like how let's see. I do like how, despite the fact that and Snapdragon, the attacks that she uses. We end up seeing a weakness to this devil fruit that while yes, it's a big giant, giant form for her. It's like I mentioned earlier, like the Bankai from Bleach from the 7th Division's captain, or original captain in the series, where if the body gets damaged, so does the user, and Black Maria uses that to her advantage, using either her weapon, her poison, legs, or even like the flame, flammable webs and all that stuff. I've definitely enjoyed all that. And then eventually just going back to like the knuckle punching, in which happened when against Sanji when she was interrogating him and all that stuff, hitting on the face and all that stuff. So yeah, that's nice to see. So there's that. So I definitely like all that, those attacks. Anyway, Black Maria ends up continuing to be the mocking villain, just making fun of Sanji about how weak Robin is. I kind of like that. And then ends up saying something that ends up eating her own words about how she doesn't need like arms and legs. In which when Robin ends up doing the same comment back to her when she's about to do the finishing move. However, I do like how when Black Maria tries to mock Robin by saying, "Oh, you should probably get Brock back to help." However, Brock while listening to her is not paying too much attention, but ends up commenting to her saying that you should focus on your own battle, Black Maria, or you should have fled because you're underestimating Robin and all that stuff. So I like the faith he has in Robin. I'm really liking the fact that one positive of this Robin and Brock team up thing, or that eventually separated to two separate fights, is the fact that the fact that you're getting these interactions between the two that have been a bit missing for the majority since Brock has joined, and probably not since Thriller Bark really. So there's that. However, I do like the flashbacks we end up learning with Robin, as we end up learning from like the training, is that both Sabo and Cola wanted to teach her like Fishman karate and Dragon Fist moves. With Hack ended up saying that Robin's fine, but they want to do it anyway, and Robin just says, you know what, since they're so insistent, they'll teach them. And she even comments that the moves that they've taught them have become useful, particularly like the palms. And she ends up using a Fishman karate move mixed with her devil fruit. I like how she's done that to cause like a strategic move of like using Durbus to take out the flames, which also distracts Black Maria. So to eventually reveal her devil demon fleur thing, which is I do like how the Straw Hats, granted I'm a bit unclear if Robin herself has become this demon thing, or is it just a giant protection of like her attack from earlier? I mean, because I don't really see Robin beneath it and all that stuff, but I assume it's probably just a giant avatar kind of thing. But yeah, but I do like how the Straw not just how Straw Hats seem to don't mind becoming monsters or demons if it means helping Luffy become the Pirate King. As when Chopper, Human Point became a lot more bulky monster, he says like, I don't mind being a monster if it's for Luffy's sake and all that stuff. And now we've got the same here with Robin, and who knows, we might have the same with some of the other Straw Hats. Though granted, but yeah. But yeah, I do like how we end up using like the regular like Robin snapping a back and neck ends up being the move that finishes off Black Maria. I do The one thing I will admit that I do find a little disappointing, but still still enjoyed pretty much is like the subordinates of, let's see, Black Maria, all just, let's see, when they heard their boss end up being defeated, they all end up lining up in one area, trying to see and end up being shocked by her defeat, and not to mention Robin's form. End up getting defeated by Brock in one strike with the Alcatraz. I was kind of hoping that we get to see a bit more of a fight with them against Brock, but on the one hand, we do get Brock using a new move, so there's that. It's a bit disappointing that Brock hasn't really gotten like a solo fight in this thing, but oh well, you know what? He took out quite a few small users and and one of the numbers, I believe. So yeah, he's taken up a giant. So he's defeated a giant from Oz. So that's supposed to be on apparently the same strength as Oz. So yeah, let's go. So we're at least seeing Brock has his strength, though. Hopefully, when the next time the Straw Hats have a CP9 style Ropeworks or CP9 style matchup, hopefully Brock will get his own solo fight. But yeah, but either way, at least Brock got to do a move. Granted, I'm very curious to see if we're seeing more of those numbers in the Straw Hat, and we may have some of the lower Straw Hats take them out at least, but who knows? But it does look like Robert's too tired to fight now. We're starting to get a bit tired. With like Brock coming to our aid and stuff. But anyway, I do like how the fact that we got one of those observer birds, which means that the reports of the Topi Robo being defeated are going to be, I'm looking forward to that. Just particularly the Beast Pirates being shocked. I'm pretty certain the All Stars are probably going to comment about how weak they are. So yeah, I'm pretty much thinking now that the Topi Robo down, we're probably going to get those. The All Stars being defeated, and maybe some of those other opponents that the Red Scabbards are fighting and all that stuff. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. But anyway, it's interesting that we end up seeing Kuribo just like has apparently a stored up piles of food, which it's a funny moment of him asking like, "You better help me replace them or and pay for that and all that stuff." But the others are going, the pirates, Law's pirate crew are like, "How are you able to fit all that stuff there with them?" Now you get like Gene Bar trying to ask Luffy, "What's the current situation with our captain?" And he's just like, as he's like talking and eating at the same time. You can't understand him. But what's the most interesting thing is about this chapter is the fact that the cliffhanger at the end, in which Momonosuke wants Shinobu to make him into adult so he can become a big dragon to help Luffy get back to Onigashima so they can stop Kaido in time before it lands on like the capital of Wano and all that stuff. Interesting, because from the looks of it, Shinobu's devil fruit can only make objects older, not, people, like a Julie Bunny, though she can make them old or young. Now, granted, it seems like she can do that. She can make them old, but not make them young again. So if Momonosuke does this, he'll become an adult, or maybe even a teenager. I don't know, it depends on how old Shinobu wants to make Momonosuke. Who knows, she might just make him 20 years old. And he ends up being as old as he should have been in the timeline, which, this might kill off any chance of those thinking that Momonosuke becomes a cabin boy apprentice of the Straw Hats. So that's not going to, as he's about to become a full adult, though. Granted, the biggest problem is this, that he becomes like a ritzy child in a man's body kind of thing. Though, granted, this probably means that Momonosuke can't use his little innocent childlike thing to do his more naughty aspect when it comes to Nami and Robin, though. Who knows? Nami might try to flirt with him more to try and get some treasure. I'm not sure, but I'm hoping Oda doesn't do that. I don't even want to give that thought into it, but yeah. But well, probably because it'll be creepy. But either way, it looks like Momonosuke is asking to be done. Let's see. If Momonosuke becomes an adult, it does make me wonder if that means his physical body will also get stronger, and makes me wonder if that means he can now actually help fight Kaido. So who knows? It might mean we get a Luffy versus Kaido fight, perhaps. I mean, I've seen some theories that it's going to be Luffy, Momonosuke, and Yamato, and possibly Marco all team up thing and all that stuff, because I know some people made some theories about based on some mythology from Japan. But yeah, it'll be interesting. But who knows? Which I have to admit, this is probably the first chapter in a while in which we haven't seen Yamato and Kaido fight. So it looks like that trend has broken a bit. So it looks like we'll be getting more to other fights. While yeah, let's see, most of Yamato and Kaido's fight will be a bit more off screen for a bit. But heck, so there's that. So overall, I think I'll give this chapter a 9 out of 10. It was good to see Robin fight. You would see the strengths and weaknesses of her devil fruit, and even seeing like she's got another form with it, like the giant devil thing. We end up seeing her, let's see, flashbacks of her being, being instructed by, or at least showing Kola and Sabo wanting to teach her their moves and all that stuff. So seeing her time in the Resolution Army and that those moves have come in useful and that stuff. And while I was a bit disappointed that Brock's fight against the opponents were over with, I do like that last attack. So yeah, we've got that at least, even though he hasn't got a solo fight. And there's that cliffhanger in the end with like Momonosuke wanting to become an adult, and it's probably gonna have some problem sort of thing. For we know he might even become too old, that he might die of old age or something. No, I don't think that's going to be the case. We wasted like quite a long years of his lifespan and all that stuff. But yeah, overall, I'm looking for to the next chapter. I'm Blue Star Saber, signing off. Goodbye, everyone.